once again, Liverpool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cup Council. Someone has the stream on in the background. Thank you, Jack. I know it's you.
Is it me? No, it's Doug.
Is it Doug? Is it Jack? I don't know. So one of us has got the stream in the background. It's probably me. It will probably be me. But hello, everyone. Hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And welcome to our match reaction towards Liverpool's 1-1 draw against Fulham. Of course, we will be talking about everything that did happen in the game tonight. A very frustrating game. I think we can definitely say that, at least, for many reasons. But as always, guys, we do have some very special guests on the channel, as you can see. And let me introduce them right now. So as you can see, I'm joined by Jack Mac, LSC. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Not too bad, matey. Thank you for getting us on again. Absolute pleasure as always. I had you on the channel, you and Doug, anyway. So if anyone wants to check out the video we just done as well, but not the result we wanted, mate. But I think we a couple of positives to pick out of the game today.
Yeah, definitely, and great to have you on as always. And as you can see down at the bottom, we have Doug from the Dugout Football channel. Doug, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Connor. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, a frustrating afternoon for the Reds, but no, thank you very, very much for having me back on.
Absolute pleasure, man. And hopefully, as you guys will, as always, know, the links will be in the video description down below. Please go and check out the lads. Be very much appreciated as always. But first comment in is CMS is in. I say good evening, guys. Good evening. CMS, I know you're in Jack's stream about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So, thank you for coming over. As always, mate, very much appreciated. But, let's get straight into the game then, of course. This game was an opportunity for Liverpool to push on and to, be top of the Premier League by a mile. Well, not by a mile. It was only going to be by 2 points. But, it was the start of probably what would have been, the start to maybe towards a 20th league title. But, it was hampered by Fulham. And before we do say anything really about the game, we do have to say well done to Fulham today. I think all of us predicted that, Liverpool would absolutely destroy and dismantle Fulham, and fair play to them. We were wrong. We were massively wrong, because they had probably one of their best performances of the season so far, in my personal opinion anyway. But Jack, what did you think about the game as a whole, mate, and how of course, Liverpool were poor in the first half, and I mean very, very poor by our standards. And I feel like this is a thing now that's happening every single time we come up against a small, team down the bottom of the league. We struggled against Sheffield in the first half. We struggled against West Ham in the first half. Is this a thing? And, what are your thoughts after the game anyway?
Absolutely gutted, mate. I don't think any of us seen that performance. Not with my prediction of 6-0. Clearly got that wrong, as always.
Yeah.
But, shout out, as you right on saying, Fulham, mate. They will be absolutely gutted that they didn't come away from Craven Cottage with getting all 3 points, because I think heart of heart, if you ask every Liverpool fan around the world, so just would Fulham deserve those 3 points? I think we'd all agree. Liverpool, we didn't create enough in that game. We dominated possession, but the only one stat that really matters is the scoreline coming into the day. Deeply disappointed with the first half performance. We'll discuss about, obviously, we'll go through from stage to stage through the game anyway, mate, but a missed opportunity, as you've said there. We could have at least created a bit of a gap, and then obviously with the game coming up anyway, the big game against Jose Mourinho, that could have been a real statement. But you spot on there, mate. It's very interesting to see how teams that sit back in a low block and just park the bus and really frustrate Liverpool. It's up to Liverpool now to analyse all these games and really create opportunities and really, this is why Jürgen and his technical staff get paid all the big money anyway. It's up to them, and I think this is good that it's happened in a way, because Liverpool can learn from this, and it's something, the game of Liverpool, what we do with a second choice or third choice changes within a game of footy when we're playing, that we need to change the momentum and the tie of games, because today we brought on a couple of subs and they've done fantastic, but we wasted far too much time in that game today, really just to and fro and really struggling on what to do.
Yeah, definitely, and I can't agree anymore on that. But Doug, like Jack said, obviously the first half, there was too many mistakes in that first half from us, I felt, and especially leading up to their first goal. And that I know that a couple of people on social media were having a go at Alisson, for his positioning for their first goal. I thought without Alisson, obviously Ali was back today as well, because obviously it's his first game back from injury, but if it wasn't for him, we would have been looking at probably a worse scoreline. We would have been looking at probably a Villa yet again for us. How would you, first of all, sum up Fulham's performance? And then secondly, if we didn't have the likes of Ali, could you have seen it going to be like a Fulham against a Villa, against us maybe being like 3 or 4-0 up?
I thought Fulham were absolutely fantastic today. There's no denying that. I mean, how are they 17th in the Premier League? If they keep playing like that, then they're going to survive comfortably. I thought Adolamola Lookman looked really, really good. Shouldn't have been on the pitch, but we'll come to that. I thought Cavaliero was very, very good as well. I was surprised they didn't start Mitrovic. I know we mentioned it in the match preview. Like we mentioned about obviously Mitrovic and the aerial bombardment that we have, but he didn't even come on the pitch today, which was really surprising. I wonder if they found a way of like playing without him. And don't get me wrong, I thought they were very, very good, but I think that's the worst we've played since the Watford away game that we lost 3-0. Yes, everyone can say, Villa was an absolutely freak result, but we actually played okay in that game, passed the ball a little bit better in that game. But against Watford, it reminded me of Watford away again, where obviously we didn't get anything out of that game, but we managed to get a point today. So really, really, really disappointing performance from us as well. But no, you have to take your hats off to Fulham, who were very, very good today. And without Ali, it probably finishes 3-1 in that aspect. But no, very, very disappointed performance. I think, as I've said, I think that is the worst we've played. We couldn't even string 2 or 3 passes together. That was so bad from us. But hopefully that's an off day. Hopefully that is an off day.
Yeah, hopefully it is, and I agree with you. I think it is up there for one of the worst performances under Jurgen Klopp. I think we all remember Watford away for sure. But yeah, it was that in the sense that Liverpool couldn't put along 2 passes together, and not even that. It was just the whole flow of the game, in my personal opinion. We just didn't look like Liverpool. We looked like a team. In many respects, it looked like a flip reverse. It was like if Fulham was going for, to try and go up the top of the Premier League table, not Liverpool. Liverpool looked like we were, like a proper away team, like go home, like go to their place and, try and get something out of nothing. And that is what happened for the practically first half. And Liverpool, they were terrible first half. I think that was plain and simple to see anyway. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, of course. Tom says, great performance by Fulham. I do have to say, yes, of course, Tom, you would have to say, of course. But actually, a nice comment, to be fair, from Tom. Chloe's in saying, evening, lads. Hello, Chloe. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. I know that we are, apart from the football. I think all of us, could literally punch a Fulham fan's face in, but we're not going to talk about that. Seema says we were lucky to get a point from that game. Yeah, we were. Second half, I think we were. Obviously we were a lot better. But like we said in Jack's stream, it was a very lucky thing that Liverpool got a point today due to a handball that if it had gone against us, that it has done this season. I think we would have been saying different stuff about the game, especially tonight. Kale says VAR has to go. We could have the VAR chat. To be fair, we made a slight banner for VAR, and as you can see by the bottom of your screen, That's what we have to say about VAR. But that's going to stay there for a little bit anyway. But yeah, let's talk about VAR then a little bit, to be fair. And I'll go off with Doug while that lovely message scrolls off the screen. If I get banned from this, it's going to be funny. VAR, it was a bit of controversial today because, of course, you had the decision with Fabinho in the first half, that penalty decision that took 3 minutes to decide that, quite clearly Fabinho got the ball and that. But, the second half then as well, it wasn't VAR necessarily, but of course the handball, and then VAR confirmed it to be handball as well. How did you make out VAR today? I know that we've criticised it quite a lot on this channel, your channel, Jack's channel. How would you assess VAR's decision making today?
Well, it's taking centre stage yet again, isn't it? Look, I think the fact that it took 3 minutes for them to get a decision for obviously the Fabinho non-penalty was a disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. And you know what? Like the other penalty decision. Look, we don't know what the handball rule is now, so you're going to get loads of penalties given for that. I'm surprised it didn't go to VAR for Lookman's challenge on Neco, because that was a very, very bad tackle. And I think if it had gone to VAR, I think Lookman is probably going for an early bath. In all honesty. Oh, early bath! I haven't heard that in ages. I don't know where that came from, in all honesty. But no, I thought it's really frustrating for VAR. It really, really is. Especially with all the decisions that we've been given. Tonight. Obviously Fabinho. People can say it was either a penalty or not a penalty. I mean, in my opinion, if you look at one angle, wins the ball, and then another angle, he does take the player. So really, really hard one to call. And then obviously, the handball decision for Fulham. I mean, he's turning his back, isn't he? He's turning his back, but his arm is up. So it's really, really hard one to call, but. VAR yet again takes centre stage, which you hate to see. And football is now becoming, decision made by VAR, which is really annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying, and we had a little bit of it wasn't an argument, even though, to be fair, it was a domestic argument. On Jack's channel, we were both like, I didn't never think it was a penalty personally. First of all, when I seen it, thought, why are we even looking at this? I could see, why people could think it was a penalty, but then even if you looked at the images and that, you can quite clearly see Fabinho's foot gets underneath the Fulham player's foot, and it quite clearly a corner. That's the end of it, like in it. But Jack, the thing for me as well that really annoyed me was why it took 3 minutes to get a decision done yet again. They're talking about, and I remember last season when I think we played Napoli and VAR gave a penalty against Andy Robertson at Napoli, and Robbo, he had some strong words against it, and I think he kept saying it over and over again. If it's not perfect, we don't use it. And for some reason in the Champions League, especially this season, and towards the end of last season as well, we're not talking about VAR as much in the Champions League or the Europa League, and not even in like the likes of the Bundesliga, Liga 1, La Liga. We're not talking about VAR as being a controversial thing. So it's not the technology that is at fault here, is it? It's the people that are using it. Do you think that this season, when the season ends in the summer, especially, because realistically, I don't think any of our referees are going to be reffing as many European games, do you think that all of the the Premier League referees anyway should go on, like, I don't know, maybe a course or something like that, or maybe just to read? It's mad, isn't it, that I'm saying they go on a course, like go on a college course to friggin' know how to referee, like, but they need some sort of different, I don't know, teaching then to what European referees are having.
They need to rock up the backside. That's what they all need, and they all need to be stop supporting Manchester United. Really, half of them. So, it's mad, mate. And obviously, I don't want to delve too much into it because Fulham played fantastic. But it's not just for Liverpool, but in terms of the overall performance from the referee, I think he had a decent game today. He got the penalty right for us, I felt, because the ball hit his hand, and that's probably the law of itself now, really. Any part of the arm or whatnot in the box, it's a penalty. So that was right, and it was interesting. I thought it's who you'd ask. I know you and Doug have got different views on obviously the Fabinho incident in the first couple of minutes into the game. So it just depends who you ask around the world. Because I think if you asked half of the Liverpool fan base, they probably would have said, yeah, it was a pen. And then the other half would have said, no, it's not a pen. So it's up to obviously the people in charge. And obviously the people in charge of our room thought that incident warranted an overturning rule. Because obviously the referee didn't give it in the first point, did he? He just went, right, just goal kick or corner or whatever. But VAR was like, no, have a look at this. And then it was the whole point of 3 minutes wasted. Obviously, got added on in the first half, but absolutely ridiculous, mate. And I think we'll be having this conversation until the cows come home, really, because it'll be the same thing next season and the season after. The incompetence of half of these referees in the Premier League is an absolute disgrace. And they've all been well trained. Obviously, we used to be a very renowned around world football for having the best European refs. Obviously, with Clatterberg going off to Dubai, the money grabber that he is, he was one of our best referees. And obviously, Howard Webb retiring, even though he used to wear a Manchester United top before every single game. He managed Liverpool, well, refereed Liverpool. But yeah, those two have been a big miss for the English game. And I think if we had those two still in the English game, we'd be getting a lot more correct decisions, make that be said.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely agree with that 100%. Yeah. But guys, let us know your thoughts anyway in the comment section down below. And one guy I really want to talk about quickly, anyway, is this guy, Joel Matip, again, of course, being substitute at halftime, of course. It's reported anyway from what, we know at the minute. Apparently it's a back injury, what they were saying on Sky Sports. And I think a couple of people also confirmed it on Twitter as well, that it was a back injury sustained anyway. And that's why he was taken off to halftime. Of course, Jordan Henderson played at centre-back, and Takumi Minamino played in midfield for the rest of the game. But Doug, are you concerned? I know we were saying on Jack's channel, and for me personally, I'm concerned that we're going to have to buy more than one centre half in January, because quite plain and simple, we just can't rely on Joel Matip, can we?
No, we can't, unfortunately. This is the part and parcel of playing football, and unfortunately Matip just seems to be, getting injured constantly, which is really, really annoying. And, he's such a solid centre-back, but just unfortunately, it's just, I don't know I don't know how he keeps getting injured, and maybe it's the intensity of our game, maybe it's the intensity of the Premier League. Something's just flashed up on my screen saying Granit Xhaka has been sent off at Arsenal. So Arsenal's worries continue. But I have to say, Matip for me, it's really, really hard to say this, but the more he gets injured, the more that people are going to want him sold, the more people are wanting him to be out of the club, which is really, really not good. But if he just keeps getting injured, then he's not going to keep playing. But Klopp did say in his presser, I think he said that he hopes Matip will be back for Wednesday. So fingers crossed if he is. But if he doesn't make it, then it's a chance for Nat Phillips. It's a chance for Reece Williams. I thought Fabinho again today was solid again. So, but Matip injured again. It's very, very frustrating, and it'll be very frustrating on Klopp as well.
Yeah, definitely. Jack, obviously Doug talked there about Klopp, being frustrated with Joel Matip. I think all of us are frustrated that, yet again, for it seems like forever, he's always getting injured. And the fact that, he was wrapped up in cotton wool when we played Midtjylland, he had no part of that game. That's all he's had to do for the last week is just train and that. And now, yet again, he's had to be taken off injured because of a bad back. Like, hopefully it's just a precaution thing, like Doug said. Hopefully Jurgen's keeping him, fresh for Tottenham, which is the biggest game, because obviously the two title rivals at the moment. But, would you agree, Jack, with the sense that, Liverpool have to look for more than one centre off in January? And, do you think that Matip could be, if that was the case, could you see Matip being in contention then, starting for Liverpool in the future?
It's interesting, isn't it? He's one of my favourite Liverpool players when he's fully fit. I absolutely love him, Joel, but I mean, to me, like majority of players that have been plagued with injuries, it's about getting through this period. But since we've got him from Schalke on a free, he was renowned for having dodgy knees, dodgy backs, and that. So it's like similar with Thiago. He's had an injury record in himself anyway. But I think Liverpool, now, obviously with the young lads in centre back that they've played, we let Dejan Lovren go. But I think it'd be interesting to see if we do go out big in January, because considering obviously we've got big absentees in Gomez and Virgil van Dijk, if Liverpool just go out and look to reassure the back line up again and just try and get a first team regular footballer anyway, because Joel Matip, I want nothing more than him seeing him playing every single game, because I mean, if he's fully fit, Liverpool are fantastic, and he's probably our second best centre back in terms of quality. But obviously, Joe Gomez got a lot of improving to do. I love Joe anyway, but I think Gomez, he's just slightly behind Matip, but all of our centre backs are crocked, really. so yeah. It's a matter of who you pick and who's really fit and available. And if you want to get to the highest level and the best, you need consistent levels of partnerships at the back. And obviously, Danny Agger, I loved him as a player, but we have to get rid of him because he continuously got injured, and it was sad to see. And we knew how good he could be, and it's a very similar story with Joel Matip. But but I can see his recruiting in the summer, mate. And we shouldn't be having to rely on young lads centre back, and we shouldn't be having to rely on obviously playing one of the world's best CDMs in centre back and one of our best midfielders in centre back as well. We've got two midfielders at playing centre back today, and that's frankly not good enough for a club at Liverpool Football Club's level. No,
it's not, and I absolutely agree with that. And at the end of the day, we could, in theory, play Tottenham midweek with no fit centre offs. That's the sad realization of Liverpool in 2020. We just don't have fit centre offs. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, let's have a quick look then at the stats for the game. Of course. As you can see on your screens right now, of course, Jack did say, the only one that matters is the one at the top that says 1-1. But as you can see, Liverpool 12 shots, 6 on target, 75% possession to 25%, which, if you watched that first half, I don't think anyone would have thought that, in my opinion anyway. Of course, 702 passes for the Reds, 86%, pass accuracy, and then obviously then the rest as well. Which, if we scroll down a bit lower, as you can see, that is the league table as it stands. Of course, us joined with 25 points with Tottenham, and then Southampton, of all people, are 2 points behind us on 23 as well. So Southampton doing a Leicester and hopefully challenging us for the league title anyway. Hopefully that's fingers crossed. As long as Danny Ings doesn't score against Liverpool, I don't mind. So, it's nice that Southampton are doing well anyway. But Jack, we're looking at that possession stats, yet again, with Liverpool, again, dominating the ball, but doing nothing with it yet again. Of course, that first half being very frustrating with, the lack of passes and that was happening and the lack of flowing football that we normally see from Liverpool. And of course, things changed that second half, of course. Do you think that was because of, maybe Takumi Minamino coming into the midfield and being that extra person to, create something? And, of course, Jordan Henderson going into midfield. So that's another element of creativity defensively anyway. But, how did you feel like Liverpool changed from first half to second?
Minamino, he offered a lot more forward direct runs. And obviously Curtis Jones especially in our second half, both of them were just trying the best. And obviously, there was that many players on the pitch tonight from Liverpool that were having such bad off days. They couldn't have done any more. They couldn't have bypassed every single one of them. Not Messi or Ronaldo, but those two in particular in midfield, especially in our second half, played fantastic. I know Curtis had that mazy run, and I tell you, what things I was only be told that that would have been a great opportunity, but it's wrong to really put that much pressure on the young lads. Obviously, we lost so much going forward as well as defensively with Henderson going back centre back, and obviously taking the creativity of Trent off in that second half as well. Nico played fantastic going down there, and he probably produced a lot more better crosses really than Trent tonight. So yeah, Minamino, for the glimpse in which we had of him, he played very well. I just want everyone ran away, was screaming, just someone have the balls to actually get the ball and drive at Fulham, because they were petrified when someone done that, when Minamino or Bobby looked like a couple of them, and then Salah had that little glance at goal. But yeah, those two played very well, especially in our second half for the brief moments. Obviously, Curtis played the majority of the game, but Mini, I think, and Nico, when they come on, played very well.
Yeah, definitely. And Doug, Jack mentioned there about, hoping for someone to go take the ball and run at them. And I think that was a very crucial thing. And one man in particular that I think all of us would agree was probably the man of the second half in Curtis Jones. Doing excellent running, back and forth, taking the ball, especially late on in that second half, and nearly scoring one of the wonder goals that we all love seeing in highlight reels, especially as well. So, how did you make out of Curtis Jones' game anyway tonight?
Superb again. I think I said to both of you, I think it was on your channel, funnily enough, Connor, I said Curtis Jones is very much undroppable right now in this Liverpool team. He's been absolutely outstanding recently. And the thing is, I think now that we've got, obviously, Keita's injured again as well. Like, I don't know if that's illness or injury related as well, but he's taking his chance, and he's taking his chance really, really well. And I think the thing with Curtis Jones is now consistency. He's getting a good run in this Liverpool team, and it's thoroughly deserved. And people could probably argue this is probably his breakthrough season as a Liverpool player. As well, I think he had a very good game today, and I think he is my man of the match as well.
Yeah, I would agree absolutely. I think first half, I think we give man of the match to Ali. I think second half, obviously Curtis Jones is probably the head of the table there, but of course we'll talk about man of the match in a little in a second or two. But of course, we all talked about VAR and the handball situation. Of course, Liverpool getting a penalty late on in the second half and then of course a man that was very quiet all game, in my personal opinion, and Mohamed Salah, of course, as you can see on his face right there, a bit relieved that he managed to score that penalty that he almost had saved from Areola. So yeah, not a great day for Mo, but luckily he did score that goal anyway to give us the point. Anyway, I'll ask Doug this first. Going a little bit back onto Fulham, and how good defensively they were. Were you surprised at how quiet they kept both Mane and Salah? Because to be fair, the both of them were very, very quiet all game.
Yeah, Anthony Robinson especially, I thought he was very good for Fulham, keeping Salah quiet. And I can't remember for the life of me who the right back was for Fulham, but Bobby Reid, I didn't know Bobby Reid could track back and do well. I thought he did well against Salah and Mane respectively as well. So I thought Fulham handled them really, really well, and kept them quiet. I don't think that was the game for Mane, in all honesty. He looked a frustrated figure. I think you looked at Salah, as you say, looked at a bit of relief that he scored that penalty, because he had a quiet game. But to be fair, I think they did really well to mark Mane, Salah, and Firmino. To be fair, Fulham's centre backs I thought were very good today. And again, I can't remember. I'm not very good with names. Is it Adebayo, and like Anderson, who looks like the second coming of Matthias de Ligt. So yeah, someone mentioned that on Twitter, but no, I thought Fulham did really well marking Mane, Salah, and Firmino out of the game. Just a very frustrating game for our forwards.
Yeah, I would agree. And Jack, of course, the news yesterday coming out, about Diogo Jota, wouldn't be making this game. Of course, earlier on today, it got confirmed that he is out for 6 to 8 weeks now due to a knee injury, which again, another long-term injury for Liverpool Football Club. But again, today, we bring on Divock Origi in the sense that, of course, we all know Divock Origi likes scoring winning goals for Liverpool Football Club, but not having that Jota quality, was a huge miss, wasn't it, today? And I think that if Jota was there, then I think we could have definitely nicked a winner late on, couldn't we?
Most definitely, mate. And I think we've seen what he's done the last couple of weeks. I mean, he scored 5 match winners on the bounce or something, didn't he? So he was the match winner. And I think at a time when Mane and Salah haven't hit the highest of forms recently, obviously Salah's already, he's got 10 goals in the Premier League already and 2 assists. So his stats say that he's not the best, he's not the worst season. He's played very well, Mo, when he's been between the sticks. But he's spot on there, mate. I think we massively missed Jota. We've seen this season already the impact, but I think it's all about learning curve, really, for Jürgen. As a manager, he's still got a lot of development to do. We all love him as a manager, but he's some of the decisions midweek to play some players, you've got to just why did you do that? And it's important that you question him. He's not unquestionable. No manager's unquestionable, but I think Jürgen midweek playing Jota in a pointless game of football and being missing, considering off the back of Jürgen's comments last couple of weeks, considering players with game time and the injuries in which his squad has had and a majority of the Premier League has had. So, but yeah, gutted, mate. But I think today showed we didn't have a Shaqiri on the bench. Minamino tried his best, but you need more than just having Minamino on the bench. And obviously you had Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well, and you don't know what percent of fitness he's up to. He could be 20%. But Klopp, was he willing to do that and risk him by the players in which he brought on? That's not the case.
Yeah. I agree. And I think, maybe if Liverpool were 2-3-0 up, I think maybe Ox might have got a run out for sure. I think, of course, some people I think will be, maybe calling for Ox to be played against Tottenham, maybe. But then, like Doug said about Curtis Jones, he is undroppable. But, the likes of Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, they do need rests. But then is the question, then you going a bit too attacking with Curtis Jones and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. But, Klopp has spoken about Ox playing in a false 9 position as well. I think many people forget that in pre-season, Ox was, majorly talked about to be playing a false 9 this season. So, there's potential to be, different positions there for Ox, of course, anyway. But, right, let's get on then to man of the match. Of course, we did mention a certain guy. Anyway, I'll go to Jack with this one. Of course, we mentioned Alisson, we've mentioned Curtis Jones. But who gets your man of the match for Fulham?
Ali. I think if we don't have him in goal, we lose the game. Or probably the form which Kelleher is playing, he probably would have saved some of them as well. But I think at the end of the day, it just highlights why you always need a boss goalkeeper in between the sticks. And Ali, world class today. I know some of them were quite easy, but you still got to be in between the sticks and make the shots, save the shots anyway. But if we don't have Ali, we lose that game heavily.
Yeah,
he's my easy man of the match. But outfield player, it's got to no one comes close to Curtis.
Yeah, I agree absolutely. And Doug, would you agree with Ali or would you go with Trent? Curtis.
Trent. No. For me, it's Curtis Jones, followed by Ali. I think they were probably our 2 bright sparks today. Everyone else was poor. So I think you'd have to say that, yeah, for me, Curtis Jones is man of the match.
Yeah, defo. Oh, I got the deciding vote for by you. Let's go Curtis Jones, because I think without him and him driving, but even though Ali, he was fantastic, like Jack said, without him, you could have been looking at 3-4 goals. That is the plain and simple thing. But I feel like Curtis Jones tonight was by far Liverpool's best outfield player. And I think, without a shadow of a doubt, oh no.
Oh my goodness. Have they just scored?
Yeah, sorry, that's why I was looking off camera. Anyway, you just scored.
Oh no.
Oh my
Man
gosh.
of the match goes to Burnley. No, but yeah, look, what was I saying? Yeah, Curtis Jones for me, best outfield. No, that's fine. Our best outfield player by country mile, and like I said, without Ali, he would be, where would we be with Alisson Becker? Definitely not Champions League winners, definitely not Premier League winners, for sure. But yeah, man of the match goes to Burnley. I swear they better make sure that stays like that anyway. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there for tonight, because we've been going for 35 minutes and we were going a bit on Jack's channel as well. But yeah, thank you to everyone that has tuned in anyway to tonight's stream. Of course, I know that it was a frustrating game for us Reds, but I know hopefully that the Reds will come back stronger against Tottenham anyway. That it's going to be such a big clash, of course. But Doug, thanks for coming on, mate. Where can we find you on the socials?
You can find me on YouTube at the Dugout Football channel. Tomorrow, I will be going live on my channel at 10:55. So a very early one, but it's because it's the Champions League round of 16 draw. So come and join me for that. Also, you can find me on Twitter at enrod_1982. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horn, and you can find me at Facebook, Douglas James Horn. But yeah, very deflated after that. No, not denying that. But thank you very much for having me, Connor. And go and subscribe to Jag Mac, and go and subscribe to the Cup Council.
Yeah, definitely. And as always, pleasure having you on, mate. And Jack, where can we find you on the socials, mate?
Jack Mac LFC, mate, on Twitter and on obviously over all the platforms. Anyway, well, thank you as always for having me on, mate. Pleasure speaking to you and Doug as well as always, Reds. But a point off the back of that result is good considering how bad we played. But obviously the big game is now Tottenham anyway. But I think our lads will bounce back. I'm pretty sure we'll put an amazing performance in against Tottenham, especially given it's at home. But yeah, nice one, Reds. Have a lovely rest of your night as well, and obviously enjoy. If Burnley can win, it's a bit of entertainment for tonight when we go to bed.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very entertaining night, especially for some TV channel anyway. But
yeah, it's not a relegation battle.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Doug! Why have you said that now?
Get some Allardyce in. Wait, what?
Imagine, man. Well, to be fair, like that would be hilarious if they managed to get like Arteta was to be sacked and then they got Pochettino after all they've said about Pochettino over the years. Imagine, just imagine the thought of it. But yeah, of course, we'll be keeping an eye on that for sure anyway. But guys, thank you to everyone that has tuned in to the video anyway. If you could, please leave a like on the video, it'd be massively appreciated. And please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to enable notifications, because YouTube hate notifications for some old reason anyway. And as we like to say anyway, that to VAR down the bottom of the screen anyway. If you want to check any of the socials, then please check the video description down below anyway, and all the lads is everything is there anyway. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from us. I've been Connor from the Cup Council, and we will see you all next time. Tra Reds.